Hey Tenno, this is Mako, and we're going to go over Ember. Now, my build is a little unconventional. It's called the Heart of Fire, based off of a Black-Veiled Bride song that inspired the build. I really don't have any duration on my Ember. I mainly focus on area of effect, a little bit of damage. I have Rejuvenation as my aura slot, as well as Hamspring in my Exilis. But the major factor is I focus on energy efficiency. Now, Ember's energy passive is if you are dealt damage by heat, you get energy back, which is rather useful. That's why I call it an energy passive. You have the innate capability to refuel your energy if you're damaged. So when I applied Rage with that, even if I'm damaged by normal effects, I get energy, but when I'm damaged by heat, I get a lot of energy effects. So if I run over a hot spot or even something like a napalm or whatever throws, on me, I get my energy back. Rejuvenation applies a kind of a cush effect, and I use the Supra to reduce enemy damage. The Supra, when using, has a puncture-based damage effect called Weaken. When Weaken is applied to a target, they reduce their damage by 30%. Rather useful. It also can use the Syndicate-based for it, which amps up its status percent, I believe, but the major fact is it deals unmagnetic AoE, while also providing energy back to the Warframe based on the amount of energy you currently have. That's rather effective because with Ember, AoE burns away enemy shields, so I don't even have to focus on putting something like EMP on it, aura-wise, to actually focus on that. I naturally just burn away enemy shields with that magnetic AoE. And the fire deals damage to flesh types and kind of knockdowns everything because I have Fire Quake on. Now, I mainly focus on using Rending Crane with my Galadine Prime because Galadine Prime is rather OP, but Rending Crane, in my opinion, deals a lot more hits per second when you've got Prime Fury and Berserker on. The other factor is, with a nice amount of status, you can burn away armored type enemies' armor rather effectively, but Rending Crane is styled specifically to deal headshots. Unlike the other two, which can deal a headshot once in a while, Rending Crane can pretty much hit a headshot 100% of the time if you know how to use it. The CC effects of the Rending Crane stance are rather effective, and it's just fun to play with. It's even got a stance move called Skull Splitter, I believe. Now, the Supra is a rather high rate of fire weapon, and it has a lot of ammo, so you don't really have to worry about burning up too much ammo. The Galadine Prime is rather useful, but it is not equipped to use Rending Crane. Even with that, I found a good, combo build to use. The Akasleto Primes are pretty much the most OP secondary pistol out there, I believe. And the Supra. The Supra is mainly to reduce enemy, damage, burn away shields, and because it's a corrosive type, it focuses on armor. So it's rather effective. With the Innate Puncture, it kind of just hits through multiple enemies, so they all get the status proc of Weaken applied to them. Now, when you're focusing on a heavy type target, I would suggest you always have fire on. If you don't, at least cast your second power or your third, whichever your energy efficiency type allows. So with Weaken on it and corrosive, the other good effect of the Supra is it applies slash. Slash ignores armor. So if you have a high rate of slash, hitting them per second, multiple instances of slash proc, it's just going to keep knocking away its HP, chipping it away with corrosive, burning away the HP, and helping it deal more damage, and as well as the heat from Ember herself. Rather effective. Now for those of you wondering what type of other weapons would be useful as your primary, Ember can really use any primary weapon well. I used to use the Simulor, but it doesn't seem as effective anymore after using the Supra over and over again. Soma is rather effective, and the Soma Prime more so because of the amount of ammo it has. High crit rate, high status. So if you don't have the Supra and you just wanted a high crit status build, I would suggest going for the Soma Prime. Now, the Simulor was rather effective at dealing with AoE, but due to making enemies bounce away from Lanchews, kind of became less effective at dealing with the targets themselves. And I kind of always have carrier on, but here on console we haven't got the vacuum within, so we don't have that innate vacuum passive yet, so keep that in mind. So, thanks for watching, and I hope this build has helped your builds, Tenno, further develop. Thanks, see you later.